good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening. Today I'm working on a bit of footage I call scatter, and if you're watching the video now, it is, you could see, quite shaky. This is because of where I was filming from. If you look below the video, there is an image, and now this image was taken on Google Images. It's a print screen of Google Images. In fact, it's not Google Images, it's Google Maps. But it's a print screen of Google Maps, and the bottom left corner of the screen is a location called Fort Regent Leisure Centre. The very north corner of Fort Regent Leisure Centre, it is where the arrow is pointing at. Guess what? This is where I filmed from. And the other arrow, top right, as the label may suggest, this is where I was filming. And that's Victoria College. As you can see in the video, I've got a bunch of guys dressed as army men. There's a couple in the navy uniforms, a couple in the camo uniforms, a few of them wearing berets. You know, all of the army stuff that goes with. Anything we're missing is a couple of props in terms of guns and things like that, but I'm hoping you might not have noticed, even though I've just pointed it out. I'd like to give an absolutely massive special thank you to all of those people there. I can't write down all of your names because I'm afraid I don't know who they were. I do know them, but I haven't written them down. I will find out who they are, so that in credits at the end of the movie, it can all go in there as a special thanks, and that they were involved and that they've taken part. So this clip is going to enter into the overall footage, which is going to make my trailer. Again, it's not finished at the moment. It will be, obviously, soon. But for this shot, I gathered all those actors together and asked them to march around the corner of that building and walk up to where they are at about the very first couple of seconds of the shot, to walk up to where they are now as a march, and stop, face forwards, salute, that kind of thing. And what I want to do, I've got to actually insert this footage, is get my gorilla coming from roughly the southwest corner of the screen. Basically just sort of step forwards, sort of come up, and basically just pose there for a sec. And so the army men then go, "Oh dear God, gorilla! Scream and run! Let's get out of here! And so they all run off. You know, they as you can see in the footage, they scream and run, and they all scatter in different directions. Hence why I called the footage Scatter. I quite enjoyed the fact that they'd done this for me. I thought it was extremely kind of them. But the reason the footage is a little shaky is because of the long distance of the shot. I worked it out to be at about 2,500 feet, which is roughly 500 meters, between where I was filming, aiming at, and where I actually was. Which is a long way in terms of a camera. The camera's doing extremely well. You know, it's got quite a big, powerful zoom. So, but the problem with this is because it's zooming in such a long way, the slightest bit of wind, the location I was is extremely windy. If you want to think of it as Victoria College is on a hill, I'm filming from a bigger hill with a sort of a big, I don't know, dip in the middle. So yeah, the tiniest bit of wind causes quite a big shake. I think I'd done quite well to steady the camera. I was obviously using myself to kind of steady it a little bit. It was standing on a tripod, which is obviously the main reason it's steady. And I would also like to thank Mr. Rotherham, who is the head of the CCF. He's the one that sort of organised them doing this, and he is an absolute legend. I hope you'll enjoy my next bit of footage. It's called street. I built it in After Effects, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.